You're staring at your trading journal. 4 months of disciplined execution. 127 trades. You followed every rule. Cut your losses at the predetermined level. Let your winners run when the setup allowed it. You've done everything the books told you to do. And your account? It's exactly where it was 12 weeks ago. Maybe up 0.2%. Maybe down 0.3%. Basically flat. Your friend texts you, "Hey, how's the trading going?" You stare at the message. What do you say? That you've spent 4 months grinding and have nothing to show for it? That you wake up at 6 in the morning to analyze charts before work and your reward is a balance that hasn't moved? You type something vague and put your phone down. The shame sits in your stomach like a stone. Meanwhile, you're watching other traders post screenshots on social media. $500 in a day. $2,000 in a week. They started after you did. They seem to be figuring it out. And you're stuck in place, running on a treadmill that goes nowhere. The voice in your head gets louder every day. Maybe I'm just not built for this. Maybe I'm wasting my time. Maybe I should quit before I waste another 4 months. Here's the question that keeps you up at night. How do you know you're making progress when your account balance says you're not? How do you measure improvement when the only number that matters, the one with the dollar sign in front of it, refuses to move? You track your trades. You journal your emotions. You review your mistakes. But none of that pays your bills or proves to anyone, including yourself, that this is actually working. What if I told you that progress in trading is invisible for months before it becomes visible? What if the traders closest to breakthrough are the ones who feel the furthest from success? Think of a bamboo plant. It spends 5 years building an intricate root system underground with absolutely no visible growth above the surface. Nothing. For 5 years, it looks dead. Then, in 6 weeks, it grows 90 feet. Most traders quit during the root building phase. They're looking at the soil, seeing nothing, and walking away. They never wait long enough to see what all that invisible work was building toward. But here's what most traders don't realize. There are signs you're about to break through. Real signs. Measurable signs. And they have nothing to do with your profit and loss statement. Your brain wasn't designed for trading. It was designed to survive the African savanna. And that's the core of your problem. Your ancestors touched fire and felt immediate pain. Lesson learned in 3 seconds. They threw a spear at an animal, hit or missed, and knew instantly whether their technique worked. The feedback loop was immediate, clear, and undeniable. Your brain evolved to learn from immediate consequences. Touch hot, feel pain, never touch again. Simple, fast, effective. Trading operates on a completely different timeline. You execute your plan, follow your rules, take the trade exactly as you should. Then you wait. Days, weeks, sometimes months. And your brain? It's sitting there screaming for feedback, for confirmation, for some signal that you're doing the right thing. But trading doesn't work that way. The feedback is delayed, murky, and often invisible. Here's what's really happening in your skull. Your dopamine system, the part of your brain responsible for motivation and learning, releases dopamine when you see visible progress, when results are immediate and clear. But the most important progress in trading, better entries, smaller mistakes, improved emotional control, none of that triggers dopamine. Your brain can't reward you for not revenge trading today. It can't give you a hit of good feelings for cutting a loss at exactly the right level. Those victories are invisible to your reward system. Studies at MIT showed that traders experience the same dopamine response to visible account growth as gambling addicts get from slot machine wins. But disciplined execution with no immediate profit, zero dopamine. Your nervous system treats it like nothing happened. So your brain whispers the lie. No good feelings equals no progress. And you believe it because that's how learning has worked for your entire life, until trading. Most traders interpret this absence of feeling as absence of progress. They look at a flat account after months of disciplined work and think they're failing. What they can't see is that their average loss size dropped 40%, that they stopped entering trades out of boredom, that their win rate improved from 42% to 51%. The foundation is being built, but foundations are underground, invisible, unrewarded by dopamine. And that's exactly why most traders abandon their system right before it starts working. This is where most traders make the fatal mistake. They let the absence of good feelings convince them to abandon the process that's actually working. Let me show you what quitting at month 11 actually costs. You've spent $5,000 on courses, books, and trading capital. You've invested 800 hours studying charts, backtesting strategies, and journaling trades. You've sacrificed 6 months of weekends, early mornings before work, late nights after your family went to bed. Your account is flat. You've made no money. So you decide this isn't working and you walk away. Here's the brutal truth. That trader just walked away from $50,000 to $200,000 in potential annual income they would have started earning in month 13. 2 months, 60 days of continued discipline. That's what stood between breaking even and breaking through. But they'll never know because they left before the roots became visible growth. A study of 2,000 prop firm traders found that 78% who passed their funding challenge did so after they'd failed at least twice. The median timeline from first attempt to funded account was 11 months. 11 months. And where do most traders quit? Month 4 to 7. They give up exactly halfway through the journey, convinced they're getting nowhere when they're actually approaching the inflection point. But it gets worse. Here's the death spiral. The trader doesn't see visible progress, so doubt creeps in. Doubt whispers that maybe they need a different strategy. They abandon what's working and start over with a new system. The new strategy resets their learning curve. More frustration builds. More doubt arrives. They jump to another strategy, then another. They spend 3 years bouncing between systems instead of 1 year mastering one. The trader who stays the course for 12 months becomes profitable. The trader who switches strategies every 4 months stays broke for years, wondering why trading doesn't work for them. Think about the opportunity cost, not just the money. The identity cost, the story you'll carry. I tried trading and failed. The shame of quitting something you wanted so badly. The what-ifs that will haunt you. What if I'd just stayed 60 more days? What if I'd been 2 months away from everything changing? 90% of traders quit within their first year. But of the 10% who stay, 80% become profitable within their second year. Your competition isn't other traders. It's your own impatience. But there's a way out. And it starts with understanding exactly what progress looks like before it shows up in your account balance. Here's what professional traders know that struggling traders don't. Progress shows up in your behavior before it shows up in your results. The 5 signs you're about to become profitable have nothing to do with your account balance. They're behavioral markers that predict breakthrough. And once you know what to look for, you'll never mistake invisible progress for failure again. Sign 1 is counterintuitive. You're bored. When you no longer feel excitement or fear entering trades, your brain has accepted trading as process instead of gambling. Emotional neutrality means discipline has been internalized. Beginners feel adrenaline. Professionals feel nothing. If you catch yourself yawning during market hours, you're winning. Sign 2 is mathematical. Your average loss is 30 to 40% smaller than it was 3 months ago. Loss control compounds faster than win optimization. Profitable traders don't win more often than break-even traders. They just lose less per trade. Calculate your average loss each month and graph it. If that line is trending down, you're closer than you think. Sign 3 is psychological. You executed your plan today, even though you wanted to overtrade. Self-control under stress means mastery is emerging. The day you don't take the revenge trade is worth more than 10 winning trades because it proves the gap between knowing and doing is closing. Start journaling rule violations you attempted but avoided. That number matters more than your profit. Sign 4 reveals metacognition. You stopped asking what indicator you should use and started asking why you exited early. When you're diagnosing psychology instead of hunting for magic tools, you're thinking like a professional. Losers optimize strategy. Winners optimize execution. Sign 5 is temporal. You don't know how many days it's been since your last win or loss. Time-based thinking is outcome focus. Process-based thinking is professional mindset. When you measure success by trades executed correctly instead of profits earned, breakthrough is imminent. But what if you're tracking these signs and still not profitable? These signs mean you're about to be. Not that you are. Give it 60 more days of the same discipline. The compounding is coming. You just can't see it yet. The market doesn't reward you for feeling good about your progress. It rewards you for making progress whether you feel it or not. These 5 signs don't lie. Your account balance does. Right now, somewhere underground, your roots are deeper than you know.